My guest today has been called opinionated, caring and driven. These three words tell you more about this person's character than you might not already know him for. I'm really lucky to have the chance to sit down with this person for a two-part conversation. This is part one with Lyle Taylor, You Can Do Hard Things. And not everyone's believed in you at the beginning, did they?
No. I mean, if you go through life with everybody believing in you, they're lying. They're lying, 100% they're lying, because it's not in normal human nature for people to see what you see your vision, whatever that is. It might be business, it might be, it could be anything, and support you. You want your friends to succeed or your best friend to succeed. And for me, as a man, I want my friends to succeed. And a really good friend of mine I've actually helped, and he's done incredibly well. And the only reason I want to see him succeed is because I've been fortunate enough to succeed in my industry and in my life. And I saw a man, and he's a taxi driver. And his dad owned the taxi firm, but he was quite happy and do you know what, sorry, we talk numbers. He was quite happy earning like his £100 a day from doing his taxiing and stuff like that. And that kind of just kept him, and he was good with that. Mm-hmm. His dad sold the company from out underneath him and all of the rest of the drivers.
Okay.
And I said to him, like, start a school run business. He'd already come to me about a school run business, and it was like, I want to do this, but I haven't really got the money to do it. And so I said to him, I said, start a school run business. So he started his own taxi firm to start with, and he took the drivers with him. Mm-hmm. So he did that. And then he wanted to start a school run business. Now, the way the school runs work in this country is basically each local government gets funding from central government, and the runs then get put out to tender.
Yeah, with the buses and that sort of thing.
With the buses and the cars and the chaperones and all of that kind of stuff. And he needed to get a licence, and he needed a licence to be able to do it. So I paid for the licence for him. Obviously, he was going to pay me the money back. But he still comes to me now and says, like, I mean, we're talking now a man who earns tens of thousands of pounds every month. And he comes to me and he says, it's because of you. And I only ever want to see him do well because I saw how hard he worked for very, very little to have that literally just swiped out from under him. And then I saw a man who picked himself up while having others to support, and he refused to go down without fighting. And I mean, that's everything. That is, if we just give up, what are we?
What if he came to you with a really terrible idea? Would you be like, bro?
Well,
no.
he did come to me with an idea. I'd left Nottingham Forest, and we went and sat in the council offices, and we had a meeting with the council to provide the buses.
Yeah.
Because at this point he was simply doing the cars. Where like the taxi drivers that worked for him and his firm, they were then having school runs as well, which was obviously helping them bump their money up because the school runs can be fairly lucrative, which is a really good thing. So I went to the local county offices. It was Nottingham City Council,
Right.
And we sat and we had a meeting, and we went and viewed the buses. And asked them what it was that they needed. And I was there that whole day. We were there for a few hours. And the problem I had with it was, if my name, let's say it goes wrong, I hope to God it doesn't ever go wrong for him, but if my name, Lyle Taylor the footballer, was attached to something that went really bad, let's say the bus crashed, a child dies. If my name's attached to that, sunk instantly. So
it's really volatile, isn't it? Your reputation like that.
Yeah, and it was something that I couldn't risk because I'm not in any sort of control of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't believe he would ever have done anything to tarnish my name, or will.
But as you
do
say,
anything to tarnish
it wouldn't
my name.
necessarily be him, would it?
It wouldn't necessarily be him, and it only takes bad news travels so quickly. Good news travels, bad news travels 10 times faster. And Lyle Taylor's company kills a kid is just not something that
It's
I'm
not the headline
looking
you want to see,
for
is it?
at all.
No.
So it was something that I wanted to do and wanted to help him do and wanted to be in because it makes good business sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds bad, but it makes good business sense. And it just wasn't the thing to put my name to.
But like as you said that, you allude to, the makes good business sense. Have you always been like that? Or have you kind of over the last, like, maybe 10 years thought, football, it's because you've had an injury or two?
Yeah,
I've been like, do you know what, at some point...
I've had 3 injuries in my career and they've all been literally like 29 to now. Yeah.
So, was it a point of something happening for shit, I'm going to have to think about if I'm not going to be the same player that I have been, I've got to think of something, because there's a lot of footballers, isn't there, that don't look at after football.
Do you know what? It was never that. I've been looked after by my financial advisor since I was 23. Yeah, 23.
So he's known you a while then.
Yeah, a long time.
He's known you grow into the man that you are today.
The time I met him, he turned up to my flat in Sheffield. I'd signed for Sheffield United from Falkirk up in Scotland, and he turned up at my flat with a bucket of KFC. He always tells the story because he now looks after my little brother as well. He looks after my parents. He looks after a good few footballers, to be fair, and he always says the reason I like Lyle is because Lyle does as he's told, but he asks me why. And
so as long as you can see the reason, you'll do it.
If I ask you a question, and I've always said this of managers as well, if I ask you a question or I pose a problem your way, and you can't answer or can't give me an adequate answer, then I'm not doing it. Like if for example, we use football analogy.
Why not?
If the manager says, stand on the right centre-back, let the left centre-back have it, but then when he receives the ball, press him into out, force him to the left-back. The left-back's right-footed.
Right, okay.
If he says do that, and I go, well, no, the left-back's actually two-footed. His left foot is equally as good as his right.
Yeah.
We're pressing the wrong one. We need to stop the left-back from having it and press the centre-half, because the centre-half is right-footed and his left foot is just for standing on. If I say that and the manager goes, no, let's do it this way, we're going to do it my way. Well, no, you're wrong, because I've just highlighted how you're wrong.
Until you've had an explanation why he's going
if he
that.
then says to me, okay, that's fine, you're right, Lyle, but the left back has too many touches, then I go, okay, now I understand why we're doing it. Then I can go, you've watched a lot of analysis videos here to see that I'm on board.
Yeah.
And I'm going at it with you because you've told me what to do, and I can see clear reason as to why. If the manager goes, yeah, but just do as you're told. No. You have to give me valid reason.
Do you? As a manager, do
Yes.
they have to give... Well, that's a question. Do they have to give you a valid reason? Or is this like, as a player, do you... Because I don't, believe it or not, I don't hang around in dressing rooms often. I try. A lot of restraining orders. But, is it not the manager's choice to say, you just do what you're told? You're here to do what I tell you to do. That's why you're here.
No, because the whole point of this is, yes, you're the manager, yes, you're the boss, but we're here as a team and you're part of the team and we all want to win. I'm not here trying to upset the apple cart. You're not trying to make people do stuff that they don't believe in. But we have to have a discussion and come to a common understanding as to why we're doing something. Otherwise, we need to have a different discussion about what it is that we're doing.
Have you had time in your career where people have not been happy with you challenging things like that?
Yeah.
How have you handled it?
You have to have skin in the game.
Yeah.
And it was, I worked with a psychologist called Steve Sylvester, and he was the one who, he said that to me, skin in the game. And it's interesting because Steve, being a black man, at a time in my career where I was really, really angry.
Which was, roughly?
When I was at Wimbledon.
Okay.
So, and at a time where I was a really angry person in general, just wanted to win, didn't care who stood in the way, whether you were on my team or you're not, I don't really care. Everyone, you're all getting it until we get to a point where I've won.
You've won?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You singular?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I was a very angry, selfish, younger person. But selfish as much as you can be selfish for the right reasons, I was selfish for the right reasons because I just wanted to win.
Mm-hmm.
It was only ever about winning. And if I had to absolutely hammer you and put you in the ground so that you did the right thing, then I'd do it, and I didn't care.
So, in a situation, and I don't even know what I'm asking, it's just come to me. You score a hat-trick and the other team scores 4 goals.
I've been there and done that.
Have you?
Yeah. Falkirk, Dumbarton at home. Around Christmas
I
time.
mean, like at that point, have you won? Because you can't ask for much more from you.
No,
it's
you
not you
can't.
that's let the 4 in.
I just happened to be captain that day as well. I scored a scissor kick. So I've done that, and you go home. In all honesty, you go home so angry.
But do you more so, because you've obviously been an intro, I'm not saying you're responsible for all 3, because you're not the person that does the whole thing. You get it in the back of the net, right? You don't do everything. But do you feel kind of like even more angry because you couldn't have done much more? What's everyone else doing?
Yeah, that's why you feel the
Yeah.
most angry.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've taken care of business at my end of the pitch,
Done my
and you
bit.
like haven't done it at your end of the pitch. But at the same time, you also, and the younger me was angry. If that was me now, I'd be really angry. I would be really angry that we hadn't managed to win that game, but I wouldn't be pointing fingers. It'd be different. It's not.
Is that just Lyle that's matured?
Yeah. I've mellowed as I've got older. I think a lot of people do. But my whole life has always been about winning. Mm-hmm. That can be card games at home with a family. It's always about winning. Mm-hmm. You have to win. And if I don't win, what am I? Well, then we're going again.
Okay.
Because I have to win. And
God, that must be a struggle to be around you at Christmas. It must be a bloody nightmare.
my stepmom's just as bad.
Oh, Christ.
She's just as bad. It's funny because my dad is horizontal and my little brother's pretty much the same.
Your dad's got no choice of you 2 around.
No, he doesn't.
So it's best if you and your stepmom go on the same team.
No, because
then you're both the same mentality. Otherwise, you're both there all night, aren't you?
But then everyone can get left in the dirt.
Oh, Christ.
And that can be even worse.
Joys at the Taylor household over Christmas.
Yeah, it can be bad. It can be bad. But no, my dad he's horizontal, to be honest with you, and my little brother is very much the same in that regard. He couldn't care if he wins or not. But I've always been this way.
Yeah.
And if I step on a pitch tomorrow, it's going to be the same thing. There is one winner and one loser, and I'm not willing to be the loser.
You ain't going to be the loser.
Well, I can't be the loser, because if I'm the loser, then what? Mm-hmm. But I do also realise at my age now that that's going to have to change at some point, because one, we don't live in a world of winners and losers anymore.
No.
We live in a much more liberal participation is king world.
Yeah. Well done for being there.
Which I don't agree with, because the big wide world isn't that. Mm-hmm. And also, you kind of have to not be that intense when you get a little bit older, because people just don't want to be around that. It's okay in football because if we're in the dressing room together, we all want to win.
You're all the same, aren't you, to a degree? You've all got a similar
degree,
mentality.
yeah, because otherwise you don't
How are
get
you gonna
there.
be there?
You don't
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
But I do realise that outside of that, and I've worked for Millwall's community scheme when I was 19, but I've never really worked in an office, so I don't know what it is to work in an office. And if I was to go into an office, I'd probably be pulled up in front of HR in 5 minutes, in all honesty. Yeah. And if I was to step into, let's say, a more corporate, the more corporate side of things, you have to do things differently, and you can't be that person because ultimately you'd be out on your rear in 5 minutes. The football dressing room, the training ground, the stadium, where we are and where I've been for, this will be my 18th season, where I've lived is a very unique place that you don't see anywhere else. And I remember coming home to my stepmum, and she said how was the day, and I think I was at Wimbledon at the time. And I said, yeah, and I had an argument with the manager, and the assistant manager told him to fuck off. And she goes, what? You can't do that. No, you can, it's football. I can do that, it's fine. No, you can't do it. No, I can. That's football.
Yeah.
You can get away with certain things in football. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not right. And I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying I was right in doing what I did. But as I said before, that was a much younger, angrier me. And if the means justified the ends, then I didn't really care. I didn't care who it hurt. It didn't bother me, because I wanted to win. And that was training.
Yeah.
And I remember an incident that happened in training, and it's something I actually spoke to Jake Reeves about not that long ago. And it was kind of like, oh, that wasn't good. And we played a small-sided tournament in training, and my team didn't win.
Imagine.
And the team that did win was a majority of the boys who hadn't been playing.
Right.
And they were then running around celebrating. And at the point of them starting celebrating in everybody's faces, I was like, nah, not happening. So I said, oh yeah, well done you lot. You finally actually participated in football at this football club and won something. And walked off the training pitch. And it was like, oh. But that's who I was. Very, very sharp-tongued, and
A bit of a shit.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
I just wanted to win. And training was the same. Because if I don't win in training, I don't win on Saturday. And if I don't win on Saturday, then...
Any potential places you went to sign for and it didn't happen, and now you look back and think, wish I'd done that? That's a yes, and you're not sure if you're going to say it or not. Because something's come straight to you by the looks of your face.
No, not... There are places that I could have gone where things might have worked out differently. Like, when I signed for Charlton, I went up to Sunderland and met Jack Ross and spent a day up there.
So I remember this period.
Yeah.
Because it was all over Peterborough that you were looking at us, we were looking at you as well.
Yeah, no. So I had more recently found out that Dara actually did try and sign me, but it was when I went to Sheffield United from Falkirk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When he could probably afford you?
Well, I mean, he could probably have afforded me when I left Wimbledon, to be honest with you. I mean, I went to Charlton. I wasn't on massive money at Charlton. I wasn't on big money. I didn't earn anywhere near what you would call good money in football until I went to Nottingham Forest.
So, posh related then, the closest that you've ever come to us, to your knowledge,
would
have been back then?
Yeah, no, Dara told me he tried to sign me, and it was like, huh? He said to me, I was on a podcast with Aaron Paul on 72 Plus, and he said to me, he said, you might not know this, Lyle. He said, but I tried to sign you when you were in Scotland. I went, did you? He said, yeah, he said, me and Barry sat down and we identified you as a good target and a goal scorer. And we tried to sign you, and I didn't know anything about it. I genuinely didn't. If I'd have known that, would I have potentially gone to Peterborough? Possibly, because Peterborough always produced goal scorers, and the goal scorers always got good moves. Any attacking
Good moves
player
from here.
that goes to Peterborough and succeeds, because there have been some that haven't succeeded, but any that have succeeded big time.
Yeah, they have.
Right, we're talking massive time, and done incredibly. I mean, Ivan is obviously the cherry on the cake because he's done exceptionally well. But in Ivan, we're not talking about a kid that didn't come from pedigree. We're talking about a kid that could play football, just hadn't been given a chance necessarily to that.
He'd been
bounced
about a lot before then,
Exactly.
hadn't he? No one really believed in him.
And that kind of that point in my life came at Wimbledon, that we actually believe in you. That came at Wimbledon for me. And I went to Sunderland and I met Jack Ross and I spent a day up there. And Chris Maguire had gone, we'd both gone in the same day, we had the same agent. And we saw the training, the facilities. And you can only imagine, this was a team that had just come down from the Premier League and then come down again. It's a Premier League football club. And it was incredible. I was blown away that this club, because don't forget, I grew up watching football and Sunderland were always in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So this club wants me to play for them.
Yeah.
Jesus, the stadium.
That stadium is special, isn't it?
It's exceptional. And it's funny because the opening day of that next season, I played in that stadium for Charlton against Sunderland, and it was just like, what's gone on here? Yeah, things could have been different. I chose Charlton because I chose Lee Bowyer. Mm-hmm. And I chose Lee Bowyer because, I don't know, it just seemed right. And I met him and Steve Gallen in Canary Wharf at a hotel, and we had a chat, and he knew my agent because they played together at Leeds, and he went back to my agent. And the reason that I'd had to have this meeting was because I had quite a bad reputation. Deserved or not, it doesn't make a difference. I had a bad reputation within football of being a problem in the dressing room. Mm-hmm. Was never a problem in the dressing room. I never caused problems for the manager. I just wanted to win. But
outwardly, some people might have thought that.
Yeah, but I was never disruptive.
If you're speaking up and saying, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? We're just fucking doing it.
100%.
And then that could come across.
100%. 100%.
But not an intention.
No, it was never my intention. There's no point upsetting a dressing room or upsetting the apple cart if you're still going to be part of that dressing room or on that apple cart. And it was never a case of, well, I want to leave, so I want to leave Wimbledon, so I'm gonna cause problems in this dressing room. No, it was, I want to win so badly, and I refuse to fail with so much in me that either you come with me or I will fuck you off and leave you behind. Mm-hmm. And that was always my mentality. And it's not because I wanted to piss people off, or I wanted to just go and be this fucking lone ranger or something. I didn't. No, I wanted everyone to come with me. I wanted everybody to grab it and follow, and let's all go and do this together because we can succeed. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, we did succeed at Wimbledon. And the reason we succeeded is because the group picked it up and the group drove the group.
You've got a lot of love for them still now, haven't you, Wimbledon?
A lot of love for the football club. It's a special place for me at a time where I needed a special place.
What's your favourite goal you've ever scored?
Oof.
I was just thinking, is it... I don't know your entire career. I know the bits that keep appearing on my Sky TV a lot. And there's a bit of that. That's because we can't get out of League One, so there's a lot of it. The Wimbledon final, wasn't it?
Against Plymouth?
Yeah. Or I would have put it as the Forest one against Bristol, away, when you had the pink hair.
I think I'm just short of 180 goals as a professional.
Light work.
I'm fortunate enough to have scored a lot of goals in my life and in my career. So I think we'd have to do a lot of work to find all of the goals that I've scored, and to try and find the best one or the favourite one.
Because I suppose there's how one's come about. There's like a overhead's always sexy to do, isn't it? But there's also what the goal actually meant, I suppose.
So I remember scoring a goal. I think it was against Mansfield.
As long as it wasn't against us.
No,
because you're always suspended against us. To be
Yeah,
fair, so.
I've only scored a few against Peterborough. Not that many, to be fair. But I remember scoring a goal against, I think it was Mansfield, and it was chalked out for offside, and I wasn't offside, and I was livid because I knew I wasn't offside. You know, you just have you kind of just have a feeling, and I knew I wasn't offside. So the goalkeeper puts the ball down on the edge of the box, and it was weird because the goal I'd scored, it was like a through ball, and I'd just poked it through his legs. And he puts the ball down, takes the free kick, kicks it long. I think it's Paul Robinson comes through, heads it. It gets helped on in the midfield, and I'm back in on goal. And I've literally scored a carbon copy not a minute later. Literally, the ball's just been gone through all of it, celebrated, done all of that, offside.
No.
Back onto the pitch, the ball gets put down, levered, headed, hooked on, I'm in, scores again. And it's like, goals like that, it's just kind of, it's one of those things where it's like, it was inevitable, that was only ever going to happen. And then, like Bristol City away is 2 goals in 47 seconds, and if you ask any of the Forest fans, they remember that night, and it was
raining, wasn't it? It's like there's the picture of you, your hair's like up in the air, it's just like a cartoon character.
It was, I mean, it gives me goosebumps. It was, that night was absolute bedlam, because I remember being sat on the bench and just like, we weren't great, we weren't terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but we hadn't done enough to take the chances we had. I remember Brennan Johnson hits the post in the first half, and I'm looking, and we get to like 75 minutes. I'm like, why has the manager not put me on? Like, what is going on here? Why am I here if the manager's not going to play me? Put me on the pitch? Like, come on. And he puts me on. I think it was like the 81st minute or something like that. And then what happened, and it was just like, it was just bedlam, absolute bedlam. And we'd been getting absolute pelters. There was a blonde girl. She was sat next to the dugouts, and obviously every time that it was post-COVID as well, so it was like we weren't on the dugout. We were in the rows behind, but the fans were already back in. But it was kind of like they give you a little bit more space. And Brennan hits the post, and we all jump up. And she's turning around and she's giving it. Fuck off, sit down, fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And it's like the normal stuff that happens at football
grounds.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, all right. So then we started winding her up, because every time we'd go and walk down the steps to go out and warm up, there was like a gate, and we'd open the gate and we'd leave it open, and she'd go ballistic. Close that fucking gate. So we'd do it on purpose then. So I remember me and Colback were on the bench, and we were like, God, it's your turn. Go and open the gate. Just go out and then don't even go and warm up, and then come back in but leave it open. Ugh. And we just did stuff like that, and she was giving us all sorts the whole game. So obviously then when we go and win the game, I remember walking off the pitch at the end, and she was stood at the gate spitting, and she was fuming, and that put a smile on my face. It's just those little things that you remember.
God, there's so much I wanted to cover with you. What keeps you awake at night?
Oh. Not being able to provide.
Okay. For the family?
Yeah, I have a lot of interest in different businesses and things like that, and that is probably my one and biggest worry. And it's not something that I should worry about because I've been fortunate enough to put myself into a position where
You've got a lot of ducks lined up, haven't you?
I'm fortunate. I've done well from football, and I've done the right things.
Yeah.
But that is probably the one thing that keeps me up at night is I know that no matter what, it falls upon my shoulders.
No matter what you feel, it all falls on your shoulders. Right. So it's not, doesn't necessarily, but you certainly feel like it does.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay.
It does, because that's my job. That's my role. And my job is to kick the ball around, but my ultimate job is to be backstop, should backstop ever be needed. And more recently, the thought of having to leave football in the relatively near future.
Before you're ready?
1, 2, 3 years. And not being ready to leave football.
Yeah. So being, again, like with other things, it being pushed upon you, it not being your decision, your time.
But even if it is your decision and it is your time, I think, let's say it happens in 3 seasons from now, I'd have been a footballer for 20 years. At that point, I'll be 38 years old, and more than half of my life, I would have lived in a dressing room with 20 other blokes, 25 other blokes if it's a big squad. And my whole existence and whole purpose and whole being has always been for those 90 minutes on a Saturday night or a Saturday night or a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And my question to myself more recently has been, who am I if I'm not Lyle the footballer? Mm-hmm. And that's a really scary question.
Because you've always been that, and always wanted to be that.
Because that's all I've ever wanted to be.
Yeah,
and as an adult, it's all I've ever been.
Yeah.
I've been Lyle Taylor the footballer. Regardless of whether Lyle Taylor the footballer has been playing or not, or been successful, or not been playing, been injured, or unsuccessful, or not been in the squads, or a young player, or whatever it might be. When I was at AFC Bournemouth in League One as a younger player and coming off the bench every week, I was Lyle Taylor the footballer. When I was at Charlton, scoring goals in League One, setting goals up, scoring in the Championship. When I was at Wimbledon, scoring at Wembley, at the home of football, the biggest stage that there is. When I put on the Montserrat shirt and I put on the armband, I'm Lyle Taylor the footballer. If I walk past someone, in the street this morning, Chelmsford High Street it was. I just had my hair cut, and the older woman comes walking towards me, and she goes, "Lyle Taylor," and I stopped because I was like, well, I don't know who this woman is, so I kind of stopped and I said, "How are you?" And she went, Are you recovering from your injury okay? I said, yeah, son, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I said, I'm back on the grass now, so I'm at that end stage kind of. And she goes, okay, so it's time for you to put pen to paper. And I'm like, well...
She must be talking Colchester at that point.
At this point, I know she's talking Colchester.
Yeah.
But beforehand, she ain't got Colchester shirt on,
no.
so I'm like,
and she ain't
give me
you ain't in
something.
Colchester, yeah.
So...
He's chuck us a bone.
And she says, so it's time for you to put pen to paper. And it's like, okay. But right now, where we're at right now, I have to be fairly diplomatic. But where we're at right now, that contract, whatever that contract is, it actually isn't there for me to sign. But even if it was for, let's say it's for £100 a week, that contract isn't there to sign. There is actually no physical contract there for me to sign right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you say? Like, what do you do? Even when I'm not actually Lyle Taylor the footballer, i.e. in football kit or whatever, I'm still Lyle Taylor the footballer, walking down Chelmsford High Street.
I mean, it doesn't help you're quite distinctive with your hair, let's be honest.
Well, no, but even so, you are, whatever you are the sum of parts. All of the parts of me that anybody in the public knows is Lyle Taylor the footballer. Is every single part of me is football based, whether it's I've got pink hair because I'm raising money for Cancer Research UK, whether I'm scoring goals, whether I'm, I don't know, in a club tracksuit or not scoring goals or winding opposition fans up and being booed. Like, it's all Lyle Taylor the footballer.
Even when you're doing, well, even podcasts and everything else, you're still...
I'm only on the podcast because of Lyle Taylor the footballer.
Footballer. In part, yeah.
And it's kind of... It's everything that I am is everything that I've worked for. But then there's the other side where you are who you are when you're not wearing shin pads and football boots and a training kit, or in the gym, or doing a recovery session in like David Lloyd, for example, or whatever it might be. What are you when you're not that person? And when all you've ever been is that person, considering the death of that person is really, really, really heavy.
Yeah, that, yeah. One of the things I was going to ask you about was being recognised. Does it bother you? Are there places you used to get it more than others? Because as I say, like, you know...
I mean, it doesn't bother me, no. No, there's been times where it's been like, whoa, it's not the time now. I remember I was at Charlton.
I was going to ask if you got shit from people at the end of Charlton.
Yeah, I mean, that happened.
Because, there people will still, whenever your name comes up, you've still got their fans piping up you're a snake.
It still happens now.
Yeah.
I just don't care enough.
Yeah.
To even give it the time of
bite,
day or the thought process. But then, I remember being at Charlton and I was walking. This was before it went bad, but I was walking around Bluewater and I had my nephew. Yeah, I had my nephew by the hand, and this bloke comes up to me and he's a grown adult. He's a man, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Lyle, how are you?" "Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I've got my nephew in my right hand." So, like, the bloke puts his right hand out to shake my hand. So I've just, like, put my left hand up because I'm not going to let go of my nephew at this point he would have been 5 or 6. So I just put my hand up to spud him and that was that. And then he's like, "Can I have a picture?" "Yeah, you can have a picture." So I put my left arm out to have him this side. Obviously, I've still got my nephew here. He's my nephew. I'm in Bluewater, in a busy shopping centre at a weekend. Like, come on. And then he literally stands in front of my nephew. And I was just like...
Weird behaviour.
What are you doing? Like, it does not bother me. I understand what football is. And whenever I'm in public and whenever I'm approached by people, I try and be respectful and give them time rather than, yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, you don't know what that person's gone through, or you don't know what that football club that you play for means to that person. Yeah. It could have saved their life quite literally.
Yeah.
So I understand my role and my job, and I understand that even when I take my kit off or my club tracksuit off, I'm still a representative of that badge. I get that. But there has to be a boundary and a time and a place. There has to be. And you could have just stood there on this side and like had the picture taken.
You're right, but ultimately, I mean, again, that's not been a malicious thought. It's just thoughtless, I would say, from his part.
It's
not
thoughtless rather than malicious. No, you're right.
But it doesn't change how it makes you feel or the situation.
But yeah, at the same time, come on, be respectful.
What was your first car?
I had a Vauxhall Corsa.
Did you?
Yeah, a little black one. I remember picking it up with my dad. And it had a big mental exhaust on the back of it, and it made an absolute racket. We drove up to like Wembley or something to buy it. My parents took out a loan. I paid them back for the car, But yeah, we went and we picked up this car and it had a big stupid exhaust like this on the back of it, and it made a racket. I wanted to keep the exhaust, my dad said no, so we had to get that changed. But on the dashboard in front of the passenger, it had like this non-slip mat. We couldn't work out why it had this non-slip mat. We found out pretty quickly after that the car had been crashed, the airbag had gone off, airbag hadn't been replaced. They'd stuck this non-slip mat with the bit of the dashboard that goes over the airbag. So there was no passenger airbag. We didn't even know if there was a driver's airbag. Right? It's obviously been crashed. But we didn't find that out for a little bit later until I actually peeled the thing back, and it was like...
Because you had to have a look.
Yeah, Dad, there's no airbag in there. This was like, we're talking months.
Obviously, the reason you're here and the reason I'm speaking to people is about you can do hard things. I believe that anybody can. When they don't realise, people don't realise what they're capable of doing or what they're capable of going through or whatever until they have to. I think that's a big thing for me, stuff I've been through recently. So on that, it's quite a specific, and you're bound to have loads of different answers, so just go with one. Do you think is probably the biggest challenge that you've faced in any part of your life? It can be whatever, what's the hardest thing you've dealt with, but mentally you've got through that, and how do you think you did it?
There's been a lot of challenges in my life. Professionally, personally. From a professional point of view, we have setbacks are weekly. I'd say I think, in all honesty, I think my first hurdle in professional football was probably my worst hurdle to deal with, because it's the first one. You're young. I was 18. It was a few months before my 19th birthday, and I've been released by Kenny Jackett at Millwall without really being given a chance. Was I worthy of a chance? I don't really know. Probably not, because if I was, he would have given me a chance.
That's not how you saw it at the time.
But no, that isn't how I saw it at the time. And I remember being released, and I called my stepmom, and I'd literally only just got in the door. I only signed the contract 6 months before, and I'd already been released at this point, literally at this point.
God, that's quick, isn't it? A sharp turnaround. It just shows
Well,
how your bubble can burst so quick.
I signed in the summer as a first-year pro, 18-year-old, and I was released in the January.
Okay.
And I remember calling my stepmom, and I'm in tears in the car park, Millwall's training ground, just come out of the manager's office. And she said something, and it stuck with me for years and years. And she said, well, you can either cry about it and just give up, or you can prove them wrong. And it was very, very blunt.
Hard to hear at the time, I imagine.
Yeah, but I look back and it was the best thing.
Yeah.
Because if she'd allowed me to wallow and try to comfort me in that, it might have felt better at the time, but in the long run, it wouldn't. It would have been so counterproductive. But that's one thing about my stepmom. I mean, she raised me from 3,
Okay.
2, and she was the real, and has been the real driving force behind me achieving what I've achieved.
It's incredible for your stepmum to be like that as well. She's
an incredible woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky to have. I mean, my dad's my dad. He is very different to me in terms of outwardly. But between my dad and my stepmom, they drove me all over the country to play football. They took me everywhere. They helped me with all of my work when I was in school. I owe absolutely everything and all of my success to their hard work.
And belief in you, I guess.
Yeah, because your parents, there's a lot of things that your parents do, but your parents ready you for the world. And they readied me.
Yeah. It's really warm, that. Nice. Do you remember having a time in your life where there was a kind of, shit, I've made it. I have fucking made it.
In footballing terms, as a professional footballer, yes, I have made it. Is there a time where I thought, yes, I've made it? Looking back, not one that I can think of. At the time, there was probably signs. I was probably a bit of an arse, more than likely. But looking back, I can't think of a time where I made it.
Is it more looking back now that you can see I have, as opposed to having like a triggered moment where you sat there, I don't know, having a drink on a beach thinking, fuck, this is a life, man. I've done it.
Yeah, I never had a...
Thanks, life, I've completed you.
No, I never had a pinch me moment like that. I never had one of those. But I look back now and go, yeah, no, I've done it. Because I have done it.
On the whole, are you happy?
Happy, yes. Content, no.
But that's your doing, isn't it? The content side, because you're striving for so much.
Yeah,
Happy with what you've achieved, but want more.
Happy with what I've achieved, but I know there's something else.
Yeah.
I know there's something next. I've got a really, really good friend, Aaron Paul, who...
Oh, he's podcast guy, isn't he?
Yes. So Aaron,
I've seen a couple of his bits.
BBC London.
Yeah.
He's
Said
Sky
sounds or something
Sports
he does.
News. Yeah, he does. Aaron is one of the most spectacular human beings that I've come across. He's just a brilliant person, and he's so skilled. So skilled.
You can describe me like this afterwards if you want. It's not a problem. I'll save it, put it on my CD.
And Aaron has been my gateway into the media side of things. And I'm so grateful for him. I mean, he tells it from his point of view, where he's a Wimbledon fan and he used to watch me play.
Oh, okay.
And I was one of his favourite players. I wasn't his favourite player, but I was one of his
He'd never tell you if you were, surely.
I'll ask him when I see him. But he was kind of the driving force in Lyle. I think you'd be really good at this because you speak well, you interview well. And I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. So I went through a really short period, I say short, for probably 4 years, where I was like, right, media after football, media is me, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm kind of in a position now where I really, really enjoy doing the co-coms and the media stuff in football because I could speak about football quite comfortably all day, and I have a different view of football from before I worked with Steve Cooper at Nottingham Forest to now. And now I see things that beforehand I'd never been kind of exposed to on the tactical side of things because of how he saw the game, and the analyst at Forest was Steve Rands, and Randsy was, I mean, arguably the best in the country. And the things that I picked up from being there and seeing it, and the way they analysed games of football and saw games of football has driven me to see different things when I sit down and watch a game of football when I'm doing co-coms or analysing a game. per se. And that was it. That was what I wanted to do. And now I'm kind of, I had a conversation with Aaron a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm kind of in a place where I still want to do those things and still want to do the media stuff, but I don't think it's going to be enough for me. I don't think doing the media stuff is competitive enough.
Oh, because of the Lyle the winner.
Exactly.
Because you still have that buzz somewhere.
Exactly.
That's something.
So
you could do it as a side, as a job. I enjoy doing it.
I think I'm probably going to be forced into something in the business world, in the corporate world, where you can still kind of win.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, I can go and play golf, and I'm going to play golf afterwards, and I want to be a scratch golfer, and I want to do the things that have to be done to be really good at golf, because that will give me the same kind of fulfillment that I get from football. There's a few things I'm looking at the moment, and I would like to do the media stuff, but I don't think the media stuff is going to be like full time for me.
Not a career per se.
Yeah, as I was
not
thinking it was going to be. Like, I don't think I'm going to be the next host of Match of the Day. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I wouldn't fancy that gig, to be honest, but.
Well, I mean, how do you do that after Kerry Lineker? How do you follow that? It's like Top Gear. How do you follow Clarkson, May, and
yeah, once you've had someone do it, and that show become them.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. And in the EFL side of things, if in my eyes, Joby McAnuff is Mr. EFL. How do you replace Joby? I mean, Joby's still there, and he's going to be there for a long time, and he's another great person. But you can't replace these people. So, how do you fill those shoes? Not replace them. But how do you fill those shoes?
You knew exactly what I was thinking then, but it's not about that, is it? And there's only because you have to go in as your own person and create your own legacy, and there's only so many times you can do that. What about going down the old MDV route that Reece did?
I mean, clothing brand has never really been my thing. Because
I was going to say, what's your worst fashion mistake? Or you probably don't see it as a mistake, but do you stand by it? Have you ever done like a David Beckham in a toga job? You're going to tell me you're too young.
No, but do you know what? I do remember going on a school trip in a full, I say full kit. I didn't have the socks on.
Full kit wanker.
I didn't have the socks on.
Honestly, did you have shin pads on?
No, I remember having the Arsenal shirt and Arsenal shorts on.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Is that your team when you were young?
It was when I was growing up. Yeah.
Because they were doing well?
No.
Okay.
You know, in football, why would I be an Arsenal fan? I'm 35 now.
I suppose it isn't right related, is it?
Nope.
No, I don't know then.
Thierry Henry.
Oh.
Yeah. He was my hero growing up as a...
Because of his position and the...
No, I was a centre back at the time.
I feel like you're sending me into pass on going dead ends every single time, yeah?
No. He was... For all intents and purposes, he's a mixed race man who was very, very successful, and he played the game in a way that nobody else had played the game at that point.
What an incredible player.
So it was like, I loved Tiger Woods growing up. I grew up and I played the Tiger Woods golf games, because it was like, you can't relate to Tiger Woods. Of course you can't relate to Tiger Woods, but I could relate to Tiger Woods, and I could relate to Thierry Henry as a child.
So does that work with Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, I loved Lewis Hamilton.
Do you?
I absolutely loved him. No, and I'd completely gone off Formula One.
You have now?
I did do.
Oh, you did?
After Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay.
After the race was stolen.
Yeah.
And the championship was given to Verstappen, and I now could not care less what happens in Formula One.
Have you done racing cars and stuff? Or is it something that you'd love to, but you can't because it's too dangerous in case you
go-karting, yeah.
Because I bet your feet are quite valuable, aren't they, on your legs? Or were. Sorry.
Were.
By the time this comes out.
We used to go we used to go to a place called PFI, and it's a place just north of Newark, so up Nottingham. When we were at Forest, we used to go up there. We used to race the karts up there. Really, really, really good track, and I was always the fastest.
I knew. I was thinking, I know where this is going, because if there was any chance that wasn't the case, this story would not have been told.
But that's it, no. but that's it. I find stuff entertaining and interesting when I'm good at it. And
if you're not, sack it off. I don't like it anyway.
If I'm not, then I just don't really find myself doing it. If you're good at something, you find reasons to do that thing, which invariably makes you better at it. And
I haven't thought of it like that.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
the more you do something,
the better you're going to get.
They're talking about 10,000 hours to become good at something, and I very much expect that my thing after football that I get good at will be golf, because it's still...
You can have a lot of time on your hands.
Well, but it still gives you that competitive buzz.
Edge, yeah.
But also, I can go and play golf on my own, and I played a lot of golf on my own when I left Nottingham Forest, because I didn't have a club for 4 months. And I played a lot of golf early in the morning, where I'd go, walk, and I'd have my headphones in so people would leave me alone, because I'm still living in Nottingham. And obviously Nottingham is a very small place when you play for Forest. When you play for Forest and the football club's then in the Premier League,
and you got them there.
You're kind of like, you got a massive spotlight on you.
Was that before or after you went to Birmingham? Because you went out on loan.
I went on loan to Birmingham. Yeah. The second half of the season, we got promoted to the Premier League.
Yeah.
So this would have been post that by like a year.
Okay.
And I was playing a lot of golf. I'd get up, play golf early. I'd be off at like 7 o'clock, and I'd get round in 2.5 hours easy, because there was no traffic in front of you. You're playing on your own.
Where'd you play?
I played a lot of different places up there, but Ramsdale Park was kind of my go-to, because it was only 10 minutes away. And because I'd been there so many times, I knew all of the people in the pro shop, and it was kind of easy.
Comfortable, yeah.
And I used to just go and walk that and play that in the morning, go back, walk the dog, go back, and then my day would kind of be like, well, I'm jobless. So it's kind of like, well, what do I do? But at this point, it's midday, and I've done maybe a bit of running or whatever, and I've played golf and I've walked the dog. So at this point, I could have done, I don't know, 15 miles of on-feet exercise, but it was the one thing that kind of helped me clear my head.
A bit like driving with no music on.
Yes.
Weird one. What's the strangest DM you've ever had?
I once got a message off of an Australian girl who was on Married at First Sight. Now, I've never watched it, and I didn't know who she was. And I opened it and I read it and I just ignored it. But it was like, Like, where does that come from? That was a random one. Otherwise, I can't think. I mean, you get so many DMs, and I've had some strange ones about like, I'm your biggest fan, and I'm from the middle of this desert or this jungle. And can I have a shirt? And I'm like, well, how am I going to post you it? Even if I could get you a shirt.
Not really. No thanks.
If you've got a P.O. box that's 250 miles away from your house that you can walk to by any chance.
If you want to come and collect it,
then... You get some random stuff, and then you normally get like the really tough ones, the ones that are really tough to read, where someone's passed away and kids got cancer and stuff, and it's just like... But I don't think I've had that many weird ones, to be honest.
Have you always had social media?
So I didn't get Instagram until I went to Charlton.
Right.
I believe.
So I think I first knew you as a player at Wimbledon because you played us. And you were an absolute shitbag to us in the stands, in the terraces.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd do.
Yeah, you were a shithouse, beyond belief, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have Instagram until I went to Charlton. That was when I
Right.
started Instagram. I was 28 at that point. I had Twitter. I believe my Twitter account's still there. I'm probably going to end up being cancelled at some point because
Because
I'm
of something
sure
you've said on it.
there's something on there that I've done or said. We're going that route with things. We might as well cancel absolutely everything. Let's cancel In-Betweeners.
Oh.
Let's cancel any like Come Fly With Me, Little Britain.
That was one I was thinking of,
Like,
Little Britain
let's
as well.
let's
yeah.
just cancel absolutely everything from before, when life was very different, and let's call them rules. Rules is a very loose term, but the rules were different.
Even saying this is controversial to some people, though, isn't it? Even this conversation in itself.
But I remember, what was it? Love Thy Neighbour.
Okay.
Way back when. What was the?
This I know. The one I'm thinking of is wasn't it? Was he a landlord and the neighbour was a black guy?
Yeah, very, very racist.
And it was horrendous.
Very racist, but it's racist by our
The standards now.
standards now.
Yeah.
It wasn't seen the same way 40, 50 years ago. When it, like, back then, things were acceptable that aren't acceptable now. There are things that we do now that in 10 years' time will be frowned upon.
Yeah, yeah.
There are things that we did 10 years ago that are frowned upon now. So you can't persecute somebody for something that they did at a time when the thing that they did was okay or wasn't seen to be not okay.
You shouldn't. Doesn't mean
You shouldn't. And this is the whole issue with cancel culture and
dragging up tweets from people when they were 14. Like,
I think it happened, was it with Tammy Abraham or something like that? And it just, come on.
yeah.
Like, we talk about the sins of the father. What I did or said, or somebody did or said 10, 15 years ago, it isn't relevant now. If somebody comes up and says, look, I understand that, I apologise for that, I apologise for if somebody was hurt by that, but this is a different world now.
Yeah.
I have a different viewpoint, I have different language, I use different language now. Then fine, so be it. Should you even really have to apologise? No, but we live in a world where now you have to apologise for these things and you'll still be persecuted and you'll still be burnt at the stake.
That's one of the things, though, isn't it? Like, as a footballer and those sorts of roles that are in the media, you just have to think every time before you even open your mouth or do anything or who you're speaking to.
Yeah,
You've really got to consider what you're saying. What's your favourite stadium to have ever played in?
Ooh.
Western Home Stadium. Oh, thanks.
Do you know what? In terms of atmosphere, Tynecastle, Hearts.
Really?
Yeah. So when I played there a
Are you
couple of
saying that
times.
just to be controversial?
No, I played there a couple of times, but the time when I played there and the atmosphere was, I mean, it was incredible. Hearts had already been relegated from the Scottish Prem.
Right.
And I went there with Partick Thistle and we ended up winning the game 4-2. I think I scored 2 and set one up that day.
Could have done better.
It's really, no, but the stands are really steep. The fans are like, they're on top of you. And Hearts fans, I never played for Hearts, but Hearts fans were like really good. I can't speak to them now, obviously, of them now because I haven't played up there in so long. But at that point, Hearts fans were amazing, and their team had been relegated through, I think it was mismanagement of the football club as well. Mm-hmm. So they were very much on the side of the team and the players and the management,
right,
but very much against the board. And they showed up that day having been relegated and they went for it. And they were so loud and so proud of their colours and their team. The atmosphere was incredible, and we needed to beat them that day to be safe from relegation. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the game was really good, really, really good game. It was a basketball match. obviously it helps when you come
not
out
heard
on
it
top of
described
these
like that,
games.
but okay.
It helps when you come out on top because
Yeah, of course.
you have good memories of that. But the atmosphere that day, the Hearts fans, the Thistle fans were amazing. And obviously celebrating that because we'd saved the club from relegation or whatever, brilliant. But the Hearts fans that day and the Thistle fans made that a real cauldron, and it was incredible. It was so good.
Would you recommend players if they were to get the opportunity to go up to Scotland to play?
I always said that they should. It's difficult because I don't know what football's like up there now. I can't.
Okay.
That was 10 years ago, so it may have changed. I don't know, but I give Scotland a lot of credit for my professional development and the development of my game, because I struggled physically in League One and League Two, and then I went up to Scotland and I played in the Scottish Championship, it was called Division 1 at that point, and the Scottish Premiership, and it was less physical than the EFL, which made it easier for me. So I was physically more capable in that league.
So you were able to play more?
Yeah,
right.
So I was able to hold my own physically with defenders that in League One and League Two I couldn't.
Yeah.
I got bullied when I was younger. So I give Scotland a lot of credit for my development as a centre forward, because I think if I'd have just tried to stick with it down in England, I don't think I'd be playing
wouldn't
football.
have made it.
No, I don't believe so.
Been pushed out. Right, a couple of random ones. Do you snore
Yeah.
all the time?
I don't know, I'm normally asleep.
Fair. Do you talk in your sleep?
When I was younger, I did.
Okay.
I don't believe so as an adult, but when I was younger,
You probably know about it by now. Someone would have told you.
yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
I think I'm probably kind of just on that one.
So on the fence until something happens, you think,
Well,
hang on a minute.
yeah, I don't disbelieve and I don't believe. I'm happy to be splintered in my backside on this one.
Okay. Are you a believer in fate and destiny? Your path is etched out, and one way you'll get to it. Even if you take a different route, your destiny will be there. Or that was it's a longer question.
That's
than that.
really difficult, because
Yes or no?
no.
Have you ever been a meme?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, my celebrations when I was at Charlton,
Okay.
the fans started turning those into memes. I think I've still probably got the pictures somewhere.
Might have to dig it out. Have you ever been approached for a reality show? Share?
Yeah, when I left Nottingham Forest, I was approached to go on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Thought it might be that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't do it.
I didn't do it because I wasn't sure I was ready to call time on football.
Because that would put the end on it, wouldn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. I would have then moved into the kind of like the celeb.
Celeb, yeah, influency type thing. Yeah, that's not.
That word, influencer.
Yeah.
Not for me.
So would you go on a reality show, do you think? Now?
I
Not
would.
now, but when you're ready.
There is only limited number of reality shows I'd go on. Like, I wouldn't go on a Love Island, or I wouldn't go on a Big Brother or something like that. It would have to be like a Celebrity SAS.
Oh,
or
okay.
something where I can actually test myself. I think I'm a Celebrity would have been testing, because being cooped up with people that you don't know, I'm probably...
So that would be more for you, would be more the challenge than being locked in a box of rats?
Yeah. I'm fairly selective of the people I surround myself with, because I don't suffer fools gladly.
Does that mean you don't like people?
I don't really like people. But let's be honest, people are everything that is wrong with this world.
Okay, yeah.
Dogs are infinitely better than humans.
Can't disagree with you on that one. Yeah.
So, yeah, people, yeah.
Are you scared of anything? Got any fears?
Um,
Yeah, deep water, heights, spiders,
I don't think...
snakes.
I don't really like snakes, to be honest. Although I've got a picture of me when I was younger with like an albino thing around my neck. I don't really like snakes, but it's more the thought of, what is it that you don't like about snakes? Okay, if they're poisonous, they'll kill you. If they're constrictors, they'll kill you. But if they're not, what can they do to you?
So do you think, for any fears-wise, because you rationalise each thing, like heights, for example, if you're strapped into something or you're in you're in something, then you can't have a fear, because your fear of heights is clearly falling.
Yes.
So if you haven't...
No, but it's not the falling that scares you, it's the dying.
The dying. Yeah, maybe.
Because otherwise, why would people throw themselves out of a plane or on a bungee?
Well, they don't do it every day, do they? And they're doing it to conquer a fear.
Yeah, but it's not the falling that you're scared of, it's the dying.
I don't know.
Okay, so at the end of all of your fears, what is it?
Oh, right, I see what you're getting at.
That's what I mean. So spiders, a tarantula scares you. Why? Because it could kill you.
But a lot of people that are scared of spiders, it will literally be some tiny little money spider that come down, they'll freak out. It's completely irrational.
No, see, I just kill them. I don't like spiders, but I just get rid of them because it is what it is. Like, they come in the house, okay, fine, time for you to leave. I'm not picking you up.
You are not invited in.
Do you know what? I picked a spider up once, right? And I ended up with its hairs off its legs in England, and it ended up with its hairs off its legs in my finger.
Oh, no.
So like, I look at that and go, well, I don't want to, and I had to tweeze them out because I couldn't see them. I couldn't get to them. I couldn't pull them out of my finger. So I had to tweeze them out of my own finger. So I look at that and go, well, why am I picking you up then? You're not supposed to be in the house. If you're outside, I leave you alone. I don't care for a spider or a fly that's outside.
As soon as you come in, you're fair game.
You shouldn't be in the house.
Haven't been invited. Are you a sloppy drunk?
No, I'm a happy drunk.
Are you? What's your drink?
Currently, whiskey.
Because you've matured now. No more VK Blues.
Oh yeah, no, I never really drunk them.
I'm not sure.
I had the odd Smirnoff Ice when I was younger, but when I started drinking, probably around 21, it was what was it? I had my first drink when I was 13 at my parents' wedding.
Okay.
That was my uncle.
Here you go, boy. This is mania.
Uncle Hugh, Jack Daniels and Coke. Yeah, mental. 13.
Straight in.
Yeah, straight in there, right in at the deep end. I've never drunk a beer.
As in, because when you've tasted it, you don't like it, so you're like, well, I'm going to drink this.
Don't like the smell of it, so I never bothered tasting
really?
it. I have since tasted it, and I still don't like it. Beer is not for me. But yeah, whiskey neat. It was rum neat, but rum's now probably a little bit too sweet for me. It was gin and tonic. I love a gin and tonic.
It tastes like hairspray.
I haven't drunk much hairspray.
Have you ever been truly starstruck? Apart from when you met me.
No, but I have been really disappointed in someone that I met, and I won't say who because they might end up being a colleague in the future, so it's probably not wise. Right. But yeah, I was really disappointed by his attitude when I met him. I was only 19, 20, something like that.
Is it Gary Neville?
It's not Gary Neville. Okay. I haven't met Gary Neville, but I have had a Zoom call with Gary Neville.
Have you?
Yeah, because he interviewed me for part of his. He did a book on.
I thought you were going to say something to do with.
No, his book was on. I think it was on racism or something like that. So it was around the whole Black
Seems
Lives
like
Matter
the right
time.
person to be doing that.
Yeah, it was around that, and he interviewed me for that it was on Black Lives Matter, actually. It was that whole political time where everything was just
taking the knee and all that.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Who would play you in a movie of your life?
I really don't know, because I've got a long answer to this.
Of course you have.
To play me, I would have to know what the actor is actually like as a person.
No, because they're playing you.
No, but I think to play me, it'd be a unique role, let's call it.
Yeah?
They'd have to be very sharp-tongued.
Well, they don't, do they? Because they're just saying what's on the script in front of them that you've already said.
No, but you have to make somebody believe that that's come out of your mouth.
Oh, I see what you mean. You have to believe in them being your character.
Yeah.
And if they can't replicate you to some degree, how can they
I
do
think
that?
Jimmy Carr would be sharp-tongued, sufficiently sharp-tongued.
But
Because he is...
That's the level you're putting yourself on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of how quickly I can think of something and say it and it just absolutely cut.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr level. In all honesty.
Because he's probably not going to do it, is he?
He's probably not.
Probably
no,
not.
I don't reckon he needs the money.
So if he's going to declare it or not, that's the question.
Well, yeah, good on him.
Yeah. What is the first football match you ever attended as a spectator?
I think it probably would have been a Millwall game because where I went to primary school, Millwall in the community, which I then actually did that job too. Yeah. They used to come around to the schools and we used to get free tickets because we were in the area.
Yeah.
So it probably would have been that. I went to one match at Highbury with my dad, but I don't, in all honesty, remember it.
Poor Thierry. And what was the last game you attended, not work related, as a spectator?
I went to watch Wimbledon play against them as a spectator at the Soulless Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would I would have been at Nottingham Forest at the time, I think. So.
What made you go to that?
Aaron was working that day. He was on comms, so I went and we went and we had something to eat, and then went over to the stadium, and I watched that game as a fan.
If I rang your stepmom now and said, "This is her words, not yours," what 3 words would she use to describe you?
Opinionated.
Mm-hmm. TikTok.
Caring. Driven.
And if I did the same thing, if I rang Lee Bowyer right now, what would he say? You're still friends, aren't you?
We actually haven't spoken since last September.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. More so then.
I don't know why.
Life gets in the way? Not a reason then?
Possibly, I don't know. I don't actually know. Loud. Leader. Goal scorer.
And one that's close to me then, what would Darren McAntony say? What would his 3 words be? I might ask him. I mean, he won't listen, but...
A goal scorer.
Yeah. Would he call you opinionated?
Yeah, but on the levels of opinionation, and I'm going to coin that word, opinionation,
yeah.
Dara stands like levels above me.
I'm not suggesting you're similar.
And that is because what Dara has is fuck you money.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
So he can quite literally say whatever it is that comes into his head. And who's going to say anything to him? Okay, cancel me. No problem. I'm going back to Florida.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's levels above me on the opinionation scale. An opinionation scale is something that you should probably coin.
But he's similar to you in many ways to that, though, isn't it? It's like, he just says what he fucking believes in. Yeah. And, as you say, you've got to be a little bit more considered about what you vocalise.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you aspire to that?
There will come a day. There will come a day when, yeah, take me or leave me. This is what I feel. I mean, I have dialed back on a lot of the things and a lot of the opinions that I have, whereby I now just don't bother engaging. Because I know what people want in certain situations and circumstances.
They're trying to get you to buy it.
They're trying to get me to say something, and it's all well and good as long as the door's closed. Mm. But as soon as the door's open, it becomes a problem.
Do you think that's why it's been easier to come away from Twitter? Because I think Twitter's a bad one for that.
Twitter's a bad place. A really bad place. And, I mean, I could probably have an argument in an empty room. So it's not a good place for me to be.
Do you add a bit of a to-do, I say to-do, as in confrontation, wrong word, but a bit of a to and fro with somebody? That's someone that was on I'm a Celebrity or something. Was it? She a commentator or something?
Yeah.
Sam something.
Yeah, her.
She made a
fan or something,
is
wasn't she?
She made some comment about you, didn't she? And you were like, whoa, hang on.
Yeah. But I think was that not around the time when I was leaving Charlton or left Charlton? But I do remember, yeah, I remember. And do you know what? Opinions, arseholes, everyone's got one. It is what it is.
I haven't seen her name anywhere for years, actually.
And her opinion of me has obviously not gone down in history because I couldn't tell you what it was.
I can't remember either. It was something who even are you or something, wasn't it? Who
was the American fella that said, "What makes you think that your opinion of me can touch me? You didn't make me, so you can't break me." And I mean, it's so true. Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. So.
But you are strong enough a good character that you can own that. But there's a lot of people. I mean, I'm not the best for it. You know, sometimes other people's opinions of me definitely do, or my perceived opinions of what they think of me do get on top of me because I suppose it does matter what people think. Not as a way of, because I want people to think well of me, I think.
Yeah. But my question to you would be, 50 years from now, you've been dead 10 years, right? Is anyone going to remember you other than those in your bloodline? That's the whole point. The people who have an opinion of you, and I've had plenty of opinions of plenty of people that I can't even remember, let alone them remember me.
Yeah.
Do I really think that I am significant enough to have made a lasting opinion, to have made a lasting memory with an opinion that I've had of someone? No, I don't believe that I'm important enough to have done that. And no.
Okay.
Not on anyone that isn't in my immediate vicinity.
That matters.
Yeah. Not if I've said something of you and it has stuck with you for years and years and years, then
it's a you problem, isn't it?
Well,
to a degree.
Come on, it can't. Nothing that I can say can be that
deep,
good, or that bad that you can remember it 5 years later. Surely.
Yeah.
Right, and if it did, then I must have been a fairly significant part of your life.
I just think some people it affects differently. I think.
No, and it does, but in football, it's in the modern world. I mean, look at that headline the other day about Marcus Rashford and Chloe Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
how? Yeah.
Like, why? How has that even come up?
Yeah.
We're talking about England's women winning the Euros back to back. Back to back.
Yeah.
And you've brought Marcus Rashford, who, let's be honest, women's football, men's football, two separate entities. Both football, but two separate entities, right? Marcus Rashford can't play in women's football and Chloe Kelly can't play in men's football. So all of a sudden, you've just jumped over the fence to bring somebody else into the conversation that wasn't even in the conversation. How have you managed that? What has Marcus Rashford done to you that has stuck with you for so long that you're going, I'm going to nail him when I get the chance?
Just bring that name into it when I can.
Come on.
Any opportunity. Not even enough.
It can't really be that deep. And in football, it can't be that deep because Marcus Rashford can't be sat there playing for Barcelona now, by the way, one of the biggest football clubs in the history of our game.
Yeah.
He can't be sat there going, okay, now. John Smith said a really horrible thing about me in the Daily Mail. He just can't. Because if he did, all of the shit that he's had to deal with in the last 2 years, whether it's been warranted or not, that's not for me to say. All the shit he's had to deal with, he wouldn't get out of bed. He'd go sick. He'd go mental health. He'd cry into his pillow. Because he's dealt with some shit that people go, oh well, we pay you 300 grand a week, you'd be able to deal with
we're allowed
that.
to do it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So all of a sudden, because money now, you can say what you want because somebody does well for themselves. No, Marcus Rashford earned 300 grand a week because of what he did before that contract. His next contract will reflect what he has done since.
Yeah.
So he's already earned the right to that money. So just because he gets paid that money, it doesn't give you the right to say whatever you want to say about him. It just doesn't.
Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it. And because you've been so open. Yeah, thanks.